what if I told you that a single comma could literally be the difference between a mediocre grade and a perfect band 5 score on your English exam?
I mean, it sounds crazy, but it is entirely true.
Right. So today we are taking a deep dive into the Get Involved grade 12 textbook. Specifically, we're looking at Unit 3.
Oh, Unit 3, the grammar heavy hitter.
Exactly. Our mission here is to decode the grammar rules around adjective clauses and comparing. And, not just as tedious drills, but as these structural cheat codes that graders are actively scanning for. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's do it, because it really does all come down to structure. We are looking at this grammatical landscape that relies on really subtle exact choices to get that top score.
And to get there, you have to describe things with absolute precision. I like to think of adjective clauses like building a house. So an essential clause is like your load-bearing wall.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, so you use 0 commas. And if you take that wall out, the whole sentence basically collapses. But then a non-essential clause is more like decorative pillows.
Right, nice to have, but not required.
Exactly. You bracket it with commas, adding this nice extra info that just isn't strictly necessary for the house to stand.
Right. And graders are checking whether you know that difference. And what's fascinating here is those commas literally alter reality in your writing.
Wait, alter reality? How?
Yeah, consider this sentence. The students who failed the test must retake it. With commas, it means every single student failed and they all have to retake it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You take the commas out, the students who failed the test must retake it. Suddenly, only a specific subset failed. So it completely shifts the fundamental meaning.
That is a massive difference. Now, the textbook also mentions that you can drop the relative pronoun, like the word who or that, but only if it's the object of the clause. And I'm going to be honest, object of the clause sounds like total textbook jargon to me.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, how are you actually supposed to spot that in the middle of a timed exam?
That is a very fair point. The easiest trick is actually just to look at what comes immediately after the pronoun. If a noun or a different pronoun comes right after it, you can usually drop it. So take the phrase, the app that I downloaded. Because I am doing the action of downloading, the word that is just the object.
Right, so you can safely drop it and just say, the app I downloaded.
Exactly. But if a verb comes right after, like the app that crashed, you absolutely cannot drop it.
Got it. So look at the very next word, noun or pronoun, drop it, verb, keep it. But wait, what about the word whom? Is a grade 12 student really expected to use whom?
In casual conversation? No, definitely not. But remember, we are talking about structural hacks for a band 5 score here.
Right, right.
Graders love formality in the right places. So the cheat code for whom is to just use it immediately after a preposition. Instead of ending a sentence with the influencer who I spoke to, you elevate it by writing the influencer to whom I spoke.
Ah, okay. So once you've clearly established who or what you're talking about with these precise clauses, you eventually have to evaluate them. And that usually means comparing them to something else.
Yes, absolutely.
But just saying one app is better than another, it feels a bit basic for a band 5, doesn't it?
Because it is basic. Unit 3 explicitly pushes you way beyond basic comparisons into actual degrees of difference.
So what does that look like?
Well, the rubric wants to see you weigh things accurately. If there is a massive gap between two things, you don't just say bigger. You use modifiers like much, far, or by far.
And for tiny differences?
For tiny ones, you use slightly, a bit, or a little.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me. So if a student is doing the speaking task, say they're comparing 2 social media platforms, they shouldn't just say TikTok is newer than YouTube.
Right, that's too simple.
They need to say TikTok is much newer. Or conversely, that TikTok is not nearly as old as YouTube.
Yes. That not nearly as structure is a specific favorite for examiners. It really demonstrates that you can handle complex, multi-word comparative frameworks.
Let's talk about the actual rubric for a second. We have these grammatical cheat codes. The load-bearing clauses, the strategic commas, the nuanced degrees of comparison. How does this physically translate to points on the page for you?
Well, to hit band 5, which is the highest possible mark, you need almost flawless execution of both adjective clauses and comparisons.
No pressure.
Right, seriously. But grammar is actually only half the battle here. The rubric explicitly demands structural organization too, like your essays must be 4 or 5 paragraphs.
Oh, wow.
And on top of that, it checks if you followed the task steps, which are think, prepare, practice, and perform.
So it's not enough to just write well. You have to prove you planned it out properly.
Exactly.
So if you were tackling the Unit 3 speaking task, which is telling an anecdote about meeting someone famous, a high-scoring sentence would have to combine these elements. Something like, the actor, who is much taller than I expected, gave a performance that wasn't nearly as dramatic as his previous roles.
Yes. You've embedded a non-essential clause with commas, and you've used 2 advanced comparative degrees right there. That is exactly what they're looking for.
So what does this all mean for you as you're studying? It means acing Unit 3 isn't just about memorizing endless vocabulary lists. It is about precision.
Spot on.
Master your essential and non-essential commas, drop your objects correctly, and really scale your comparisons.
And consider this as you approach the final project, which actually asks you to describe your perfect day. Think about your own daily life and your actual passions.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Right. Think about how many extreme comparatives and descriptive clauses you already use naturally when talking to friends about, say, your favorite movie or the best meal you've ever had.
You probably use them all the time without realizing it.
Exactly. Your goal isn't to sound like a rigid textbook. It's to take that natural, passionate way you already speak and just pour it into this specific structural mold.